Okay, time for the fastest tier list that you'll ever see. Amma, S tier. It can be flexed into multiple roles. Her build's really good. She has flexible builds. Uh, Book, really strong on her. Everything's just really good on her. You can do a lot of stuff with Amaterasu. Anhur is A. He's a good hunter. He has pen inherently. It's just really good. CC immunity and mobility, really, really strong. Anubis, I'll say B. I think Anubis, in ranked and everything, SA is fine, but in comp, this is a comp tier list. He's B because you kind of need to build a draft around him or have a purpose for him. I don't think you should be picking him solo like a lot of people do. I don't think you should be picking him ADC like a lot of people do, without a purpose. Like people are just slamming it for no reason. He's really strong if you draft around it and if you have a purpose. Ares, same situation as Anubis. I think he's really good beads burn. You could put him A just to draft in general, but he does really shine in great compositions where he's against a Fenrir, against a Sasano, against Odin. Like he gains value as a counter pick. Athena, I'll put in C. I don't think she's actually that good. I think her best role is jungle, and I think that's when she's at her weakest, funnily enough. I think that, she's right now, she's the best when she can deal damage. She's not that good at setup. She's good at just killing people. And I think that's not really good for Athena, because if she's killing people, she should be dying instantly if people recognize it. Barcus, really broken. Great solo laner, great support. Could probably put him jungle, but that's a bit of a stretch. Just unkillable tank. Baron, I'll put him A. A lot of people have him S. That is the best god in the game. I think he's similar kind of to Anubis, but he is mega broken, which makes him A. Because he is something that's immobile and, needs gold, he does need 6 items to be good. I don't understand how people are struggling against it. He gets punished in solo if you play for blues. He shouldn't be able to get a single blue buff ever if you actually have a good draft into it. And he cannot invade your blue buff without pulling too many resources over in solo. In mid, it's just fucking stupid. And in support, I actually think he's okay. I can't put him in S because I think that he can't be drafted every game fine. Even though every region keeps fucking 100% banning him, I think he's A. Bellona down here with Athena, which is kind of shit. CERN, A, although he did just get buffed and all of his items did get buffed too. He could be a sleeper S pick for people to try out. Braggies, Chins, Exy, Titan's Bane, Obshard, Frenzy Dagger. Maybe you could double stack on him. Really good hybrid damage. I'm going to keep him at A for now, but I do have the feeling that he could be a sleeper S tier pick, mid or ADC. Next up, Chark. Chark's a B. You just don't want to first pick him or whatever. He's just good into matchups. Solid pick, but he's not like really, really strong that you're happy to pick all the time. He has some good counter matchups that he can play around the map. But he's pretty easy to play around if you just evade his ult. He can be really annoying though. Chark's, he's just better than Bellona, not as good as Hammer or Barcus or Fenrir or Mordred, but we'll keep going. Danzaburou just came out this patch, and he's about to not be the new god because Ra and Sobek are coming out. But Dan, I think he is also A or B. The thing is, you can kill him quite easily with things like Odin, Amir, Sasano, Fenrir, Hercules. Everything should get on top of him really easy. The Rocket isn't a good ultimate. I just don't think he's actually that good in a competitive setting. Next up, Fenrir is S tier. I think he can actually genuinely be in all 5 roles and be super strong. Great first pick. Just the best flex pick in the game, in my opinion. Next up, we have Hades. I'm going to put him in C, but I do think he's a B tier character. My reasoning for C is I can't really put him over Bellona as comfortably, but I do put him here just because he's just not the strongest pick in solo. Although cooldown just got buffed and now it's got nerfed. It feels wrong to put Hades in C because I do think he's up here, but it's just such a weird angle that you ever pick him over anything else. So in comparison to other solo laners and mid laners, maybe even support if you're a bit janky with it, he just doesn't, he's just not at their level. Next up, Hecate. I think she's one of the best mid laners. Her 3 is instant damage that's also negating enemy damage that's also instant and you can't react to it. It's probably one of the best abilities in the game. Her 3rd ability being the shield. Her 1 being a mark and CC, range CC, I really highly value, and then her ult also being a nuke plus a ranged CC. Very, very strong pick. Hercules, I'm going to put in S also. I think he's really good in 3 roles, solo, jungle, and support. His cooldowns, whilst they don't scale with level, somehow feel like they're always up. There's multiple builds that you can run with him. You can do the Golden Blade build. You can do full breastplate into Glad Shield build. You can build him support with auras. Really, really strong pick. His passive really, really strong. And something that's sleeper that might go unnoticed is that the knock-up off of his ultimate is a guaranteed wombo combo if you're good enough. So, you know, Ra's coming out soon. Boulder Snipe is a play that you can do now due to it being CC. When a Weirlix comes out, there's that mechanic as well, but knockups are just super, super strong. Speaking of knockups, Jingwei's first ability is really strong. I think Jingwei is still an S tier pick. She's probably the only S tier ADC in my mind due to having inherent crit. I think she's really strong early game and doesn't fall off. Obviously, Jingwei scales. I think her early game needs to be neutered for her to be a bit more balanced. I'm not going to go into it. She's just pretty safe, you know, CC immunity. Cuckoo, you just pick him in mid and it's fine. He's the most boring god in the game, but it is what it is. Loki, I think he's the best jungler that's not a flex pick. There are some Lokis going into lanes, which I don't agree with at all. He's just the best jungler in the game, in my opinion. 100% Pen's really easy to get on him. You can play for poke with his 2, although Soul Reaver did get nerfed, so you probably wouldn't be doing that, but I still think he clears other junglers. Next up, Mordred. I think he's really good in 2 lanes. I just don't think I think he's nearly at S. If this was at A+, Mordred would be there, probably with Baron Samedi in A+, or S-, however you want to look at it. Mordred really, really strong, a lot of pressure. His ult just got a well-needed quality of life change that he can spin a bit easier. You can aim the ult a bit better. And I don't know, yeah, pressure is good. Next up, Neith. Just a good backliner, both roles, and I think that she's better than Nuwa, so I'll do 2 at the same time. The reason I think she's better than Nuwa is... Oh, dude, it's hard to say. I like how I came in so confident and then said it's really hard to say. Neith can go into both lanes very easily. Nuwa cannot. Neith can reliably ult and get something off it, where Nuwa kind of really struggles early game with their ults. It doesn't really do too much. Late game, yes, you can say that Nuwa's quite better than Neith, but ease of play, Neith just trumps Nuwa. Now, Nuwa is good. Nuwa does have flat pen on her 2, which is still very strong. Her auto is really good on her 3, so the first wave, Nuwa will pretty much always get pressure, but she does kind of struggle between 5 and 12, and then if you struggle at 5 and 12, that means you're struggling from like 5 to 20. Let's be honest, I think it's very easily punishable to play Nuwa or to pick Nuwa in mid. Odin, I think, is an S tier god, or, you know, the apex tier of gods. If Loki is the best jungler, I think Odin is the best solo laner. Cooldowns are just through the roof. His 3 is broken, okay? Just throw the first tick of the 3, poke people down. You can jump away, you can shield, you can ult to be annoying, you're forcing shell. Odin's just really, really strong. Sol just got buffed through the roof, and some people had her here or here or here. I honestly think she can be with Jingwei in this tier due to her items being buffed, as well as like her heat. It does feel kind of bad to put her up with Jingwei, but it does feel wrong to put her down with Anhe. So I think that she is better than Anhe, not as good as Jingwei. Sol, it's probably like second best in slot for ADC. Like, if you're not getting Jingwei, you're probably happy grabbing Sol, and that also allows you to open up your comp to have 4 physicals if need be. Next up, Susano. I think Susano's fine. He's also here with Loki. Some things did get changed with Susan in the recent patch, but most of them were good. Like, I think his 1 received like 100 damage off. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe that was 2 patches ago, but a lot of items got buffed around him. Thana, I'm going to put down here at C. I think Thana sucks. I think he's so hard to play in Smite 2. His 1 doesn't hit, his 3s, whatever. Execute, sure, it's cool, but you have to build him full tank, and similar to like the rest of these gods, if they're not doing what their kit is intended to do, where Thana is this high burst assassin that if you hit your scythe, hit an auto, hit a 3, they should nearly be dead. It's just not happening for Thanatos in Smite 2, so it feels kind of shit. Same, I'm not actually going to rank Morrigan because she's too buggy to rank. Like, you can't barely use her ult. And it's just pilot diff, you know? If you're a good Morrigan, you're a S tier. If you're a bad Morrigan, it's C tier. If she bugs, she's the worst god. Blah, 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 blah. Yemo, solid A. There's a lot of people who think Yemo's the Smite 1 Yemoja, but I think, like, yeah, she's good, but once again, you do need hands to play Yemoja. Like, you can't just slam Yemo and think that she's and be really like impactful. Whereas if you play a Mir, you can slam like face roll and probably going to be as impactful as a meh Yemoja. And then the spicy pick, I think Zeus is really good. Like I'd put Zeus at the front of A. Honestly, if I am going to rank them, I'm going to cut to me putting everything around, and then we'll come back. Okay, we're back. I kind of did a rough order in what I think the gods should kind of look like. Fenrir, Odin, Amma, Barkus, Jingwei are your top 5 gods. Take that however you will. Obviously, this is all my opinion. I can, if you have any questions, because I am rushing through it, I think tier list videos are way too long, so I wanted to make a short format version of it. And there's also going to be a new patch dropping soon with Ra and Sobek, which I'm assuming will also bring changes to this list. So this list might be good for like a week. Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions about the list, I didn't go into detail and understand that, but make sure you leave a comment down below and ask why I think XYZ, and I'm happy to have a conversation. A lot of these gods like Nuwa and Yemoja and Mordred could be up here. I know Baron's going to be a hot topic. Yes, people think that he's up here. I think he's really easy to prep into, and once again, in a competitive setting, take things into account. This is kind of what it's for, but